News in high definition.
You know, raising kids with things like mental health issues, addictions, or just the normal angst of growing up, not easy at all.
No, Dr. Brad Reedy is here to talk with us about his book, The Journey of a Heroic Parent. It's a unique process that moved parents away from anxiety and confusion, and the goal is towards empowerment and clarity. Thanks for being with us this morning. Okay, as Dan was mentioning, it is a journey raising kids.
Right.
How do we become the heroic parent?
You know, I think the idea of the hero is that you stop becoming a victim to your circumstances and you embrace it. And so for me, a heroic parent is somebody who searches for themselves in this process. I think a lot of the times we think about fixing our kids, and for me, the idea of transforming it into a heroic process is discovering who you are in the process. And the more clear you can be about that, the easier it is then to help your children and guide them.
You know, it's really hard because of the things that you mentioned in your book. They're intuitive after you read them, but a lot of times, you know, when you're raising the child and in the moment, you know, you kind of just try to do what feels right, and sometimes it's not the right thing. But I was reading this, you know, and it says, I was thinking about this, and it's a quote that you used from somebody else, but don't do what Daddy says, because Daddy has one interest in mind for you, and that's your security. And if you bargain away your life for security now, you'll never find your bliss.
Right.
So we're letting them struggle and have some trials so that they can figure out their way through some of the initial ones. Is that the idea?
Right. That's actually an idea from Joseph Campbell where the title is taken from. And it's this idea that part of what we do as parents is we get scared and we lose our focus, we lose our clarity, and we want to control things, we want to keep them safe. And part of the development of a child is to make mistakes, is to feel pain, is to struggle. So as a parent, that heroic task is to allow your child to struggle and to stumble along as they learn their lessons, and you provide a safe container for them as they do that.
That's difficult. That's what I was going to say. Hard to let your children struggle, because I think as parents, we don't want that. We want them to have a better life or better opportunities or make better decisions than we did growing up.
Right.
So what do you learn from the mistakes, and how do you let them make mistakes that won't impact the rest of their life?
Well, this is interesting what you just said. All that we have, we learn from our struggles. And then we have this strange American idea that we want to take it away from them and somehow impart lessons and principles and values to them without the struggle that gave us all of our wisdom that now we want to pass on to them. So part of it is just practicing patience, practicing mindfulness, being present with yourself, and being aware that everything's going to be okay in the end. And it is heroic.
So you've got a chapter in here on control versus influence.
Right.
And so from what it sounds like, you know, parents naturally kind of want to control some of the decisions their children make, but it's not about that. I guess it's more about who the parents are and who they're becoming. Huh?
Right. And for me, the distinguishing piece between control and influence is children can adjust to varying levels of structure and strictness. What they can't adjust to is emotional coercion. Guilting, lecturing, begging, pleading, nagging. That's the stuff that they end up being triggered by and rebelling against. So becoming clear about our boundaries, becoming clear about our truth, and then allowing the child to work their way through the consequences and the lessons without trying to guilt or pressure them into it is the key to changing from a controlling relationship to an influential.
You're taking away all my skills here, buddy. I'm telling you, what am I going to do if I can't lecture?
Right. It's tempting for all of us, for sure.
What is the number one mistake most parents make, and do you address that in the book?
You know, I think it would be trying to share your feelings with your child to give them a sense that they need to change their behavior so you feel okay. I'm worried about you skipping school or cutting or doing drugs, whatever the behavior is. And so you need to now not do that so all feel peace and contentment. And what that does is that programs a child to then feel responsible for other people's feelings. And we know as adults now, we're trying to break free of that a lot in our lives. And so if we program somebody with that as a parent, then they're going to have that same mechanism in their brain, and they won't be able to resist peer pressure and influences, and they won't know who they are in the end.
You know, and we've got to wrap this up, but I think a lot of parents may be thinking at this point, oh man, did I mess up? Is it too late?
Yeah. Well, the answer to the first question is yes, you did mess up, because you're human. And the second part of that is it's never too late. You get to be on this journey until you're not here anymore, and so there's always a process that you can engage in that'll be helpful.
Okay, the book is called The Journey of the Heroic Parent. Where can you pick it up now?
Amazon, wherever books are sold. It comes out on the 21st, but you can pre-order it now on Amazon.
Okay. Thanks so much for coming in and talking with us about it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
And good luck with the big tour, too.
Thank you.
Sounds awesome.